Hey everyone, it's Sarah, and today I am back with a video that I have been meaning to do like for a couple years now, and I'm just now finally getting around to it. I am finally doing a video about just the Guerlain fragrances that I have in my collection. So Guerlain is definitely the house that I own the most fragrances from. I do have quite a few, and I'm just going to jump right in. I adore Guerlain fragrances. I would say they're probably my favorite house. So anyways, let's just jump right in. So I'm going to start with my favorite. This is a fragrance that has unfortunately been discontinued, but it is my favorite Guerlain fragrance in my collection. This is a fragrance called My Insolence, and this is the bottle, my partial bottle that I am currently using. This is a backup that I've got. This is the only fragrance that I have a backup of. I typically don't do backups because I don't need to, but this one, if I ever come across it, I just snap it up if it's a decent price because yeah, I love this. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful, slightly powdery, almondy vanilla. It's got a really beautiful sophistication about it, even though it's kind of sweet and almondy and everything that I love about a fragrance. This really, really reminds me of, it smells much more expensive than it is. This really reminds me of something that would be in the arts and materials line. And I have a sneaking suspicion that they took this formula or this fragrance and maybe tweaked it a little bit and then put it in one of those bottles because it's like on that level. It's just gorgeous. It is, again, my favorite Guerlain fragrance I own. And I absolutely love it. These ones I store separately from the rest of my Guerlains because I store these in a dark cabinet. Like, I'm that crazy about this one. I love it. Absolutely love it. So anyways, that is the first one I have, and that is My Insolence. I was going to try to do these like in an order and keep everything like with its similar brothers and sisters, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Okay, but I am going to try to talk about all of the Aqua Allegorias that I've got at the same time. So the first one that I have is Aqua Allegoria Limon Verde, and this is the most beautiful, bright, tart, citrusy lime fragrance ever. It is very, very fresh, juicy, lime, light, airy, like everything that you want in a beautiful, very hot weather fragrance. This does so well in really, really hot weather. I really love this one. I really like to pair this with this one. This is the Herba Fresca, and together it ends up smelling like a mojito. They're just gorgeous fragrances. These, you won't get the longest, or you won't get the best longevity out of these, or the best performance out of these. They're, but they're not horrible either. I can definitely get a good 4 to 6 hours if I overspray, and I always overspray. But yeah, I can definitely get a good 4 to 6 hours out of these. Okay, so let's just talk about the Herba Fresca. This is beautiful. Mint, it's very fresh. Very like aromatic smelling, light, airy, perfect for warm weather, and paired with the Limon Verde, it ends up smelling like the most beautiful mojito fragrance. I just love it. There's something so classy about these fragrances too. They're like such beautiful, classy, expensive smelling hot weather fragrances. I love them. So anyways, that is Herba Fresca. Next I've got Rosa, and this is a beautiful, fresh, kind of straightforward rose fragrance. It's definitely got like a more traditional rose scent, but it is still very light and airy. I'm pretty sure there's some citruses in the top. It's just beautiful. I love it. So if you're looking for like a really beautiful, light, bright, kind of traditional rose smelling fragrance, this is a great one. So that is Rosa. Next I've got Rosa Pop, and this is gorgeous. This one's a little bit younger smelling. This smells to me like it's got violet in it. To me, this has really got that meteorites kind of smell to it. It's beautiful. It's like a bright, young, cheerful rose, but with a slight powderiness and a little bit of that meteorites fragrance. Really, really beautiful. I'm surprised I can even smell. I'm trying so hard to get over this horrible cold. Last but not least, I've got Teazzurra, and this is a beautiful, a beautiful light, bright tea fragrance. It's very, very citrusy in the top, like very, very citrusy, but it dries down to a really beautiful, light, fresh tea fragrance. I love it. It's the only, I think this is the only tea fragrance that I really have in my collection, besides like some of the Elizabeth Arden green teas, but this one is fresh, like an Elizabeth Arden green tea. It's beautiful. I really love it. So anyways, that is Teazzurra. And those are all of the Aqua Allegoria fragrances that I have. So let's talk about some of the other, I'm gonna try and leave all the Shalimars for last because I've got so many of them. Okay, next we have got Terracotta. This is, oh my gosh, I love this. This is like summer white florals. I believe it's got coconut in it. This is Guerlain's beachy fragrance. It's, I'm pretty sure it's like coconut, summer white florals, and it smells like the beach. It's beautiful. I love it. It's got, Terracotta has got a stronger, I think it's a jasmine note. It's a stronger jasmine note that makes it lean more floral and less suntan lotion. So it's just really, really beautiful. That's why I love it. It's a little, even though it's one of those kind of beachy fragrances, it's got a really unique quality about it because, I don't know, there's just something about it that kind of sets it apart from all of my other beachy fragrances. Not that it's in any way unique. It definitely just smells like a beachy summer floral with like coconut and, but it is unique as far as in its category. I just love it. It's beautiful. I love Terracotta, but Terracotta performs like trash on me. It is, like you can see just how, like what a big dent I've got in mine, because I have to overspray it so much. And I only wear it like a few times a summer. So yeah, and I've had this for maybe, I think I've had this for about 4 or 5 years now. So yeah, to me, I feel like I've got a pretty big dent in it for not having, for only wearing it like a couple times a year. Oh my gosh, but I love it. But I do have to overspray it, and it only lasts, I don't know, 4 hours maybe on me. It just doesn't perform well, but I love it. So anyways, that is Terracotta. Next, we have got one of my favorites. This is definitely by far my favorite sandalwood fragrance in my collection, hands down. I have a hard time with sandalwood fragrances a lot because I try to compare them all to this, and they never hold up. This is Samsara. I do have the Eau de Toilette formulation. Mine is one of the newer formulations, possibly the newest. No, it's not the newest formulation, but it's one of the newer ones. It's stunning though, and I can tell you, I've got a decant of a 1993 formulation, and this one it still smells really, really nice. This formulation has not been butchered or anything. It smells, it's not quite as deep and rich and luxurious smelling as the decant that I've got. It's still stunning. it's not like so far removed from it that it's like smelling a different perfume. I've heard the newest formulation of this though in the bee bottle is terrible. I've had some people tell me that it is really, really watered down now and that it is just not good. So I am glad that I've got this formulation, and I will, from now on, I'm going to be very sparing with it because I don't want to run out of it. I love it. So anyways, that is Samsara, just a beautiful, cozy sandalwood fragrance. I love it. And this lasts absolutely forever on me. I can spray this on in the morning and it'll get me through an entire day. So easily 8 to 10 hours on this one. So anyways, that is Samsara. Okay, next I have a newer one in my collection. I still have not even been able to give this one a really good wear test. This is Louis. I think that's how you pronounce it, Louis. This is beautiful. Oh my gosh, this is spices and vanilla, and I think there's a touch of leather in here. Yeah, but it's beautiful spices and vanilla. And I love this. I love the way this smells in the bottle, so I'm just really hoping it performs well on my skin. I'm pretty sure it will. I've never met a Guerlain fragrance that has not worked with my skin chemistry. So yeah, I'm just excited to give this one a good wear test. Cozy, yummy, perfect for the winter. Not groundbreaking or anything, but it's definitely got that Guerlain DNA. And I love it. Yummy spiced vanilla. So that is Louis. Okay, next we've got another discontinued one, and I adore this fragrance. This is L'Homme Idylle Cologne, and this is technically a men's fragrance. Oh my gosh, but this is so perfectly unisex. Like, anybody can wear this. This is beautiful. This is like lemon and almonds, or citruses and almonds. It's stunning. It lasts absolutely forever on my skin. I can get through an entire day easily with just one application in the morning. This one is cozy and fresh. It's just really beautiful. Yeah, this is another one that I'm going to start being sparing with because it's been discontinued. If you can find it, it's incredibly expensive now. Oh my gosh, but I love this. I love it so much. So that is L'Homme Idylle Cologne. Okay, next I have, this is like a very floral Guerlain, probably the most floral one that I've got. This is Guerlain Idylle, and this is the Eau de Parfum formulation. Number one, I absolutely adore this bottle. I think it's just such a pretty bottle. This reminds me a little bit of Narciso Rodriguez, the Eau de Toilette formulation in the black bottle. It's kind of like a musky floral, but this is much softer, lighter. It's more well-rounded than the Narciso, but it's that kind of a beautiful musky floral. I love it. It's very, it's like very classic and very grown-up smelling. But classic is the perfect word. It's just a beautiful fragrance. I love this. I don't wear this one often because I forget about it. This is one of those fragrances that I just completely forget about, and I need to pull it out more and wear it because it's a great all year round fragrance. And like I said, very classic smelling. So anyways, that is Idylle. Next, I have a couple of these half ounce fragrances. And yeah, I love these little half ounces when I can find them. This is Eau de Cologne Imperiale, and this is like a super old fragrance. I think this came out in like the early 1900s, so it's very, very like old, classic, very bright, crisp, tart, barbershop style citrus fragrance. I really, really like this one. This is great for really high heat. And then the other half ounce bottle I have is Santal Royal. This is a really, really expensive fragrance. This is another stunning sandalwood fragrance. It kind of gives me Samsara vibes because it's, you know, it's like its older, darker sister. I love this. It's a little bit sweet and just a beautiful, like warm, cozy, dark sandalwood fragrance. I love it. It's gorgeous. So that is Santal Royal, and I got this thing for a steal. It was like 15 bucks or something for this half ounce when I found it. And Santal Royal is such a crazy expensive fragrance, and I think it's been discontinued too. Next, we have got Mahora. This, I love this fragrance. I'm so sad because my daughter broke my, she broke my little sprayer. I can still make it work, but it won't ever sit on there again. But I keep it in there because if I want to wear it, I can still use it and spray it. Oh my gosh, I love Mahora. This, I really get terracotta vibes from this. It's kind of like terracotta. To me, it's like an old-fashioned, almost beachy fragrance. This is my favorite Guerlain bottle in my collection. I think it is just stunning. I love the kind of very Art Deco, I don't know, look to it. And yeah, this reminds me, it does remind me a lot of terracotta, but it's like as if, it's like terracotta is maybe a newer formulation of Mahora that's made more to like today's, you know, tastes. But I love this. It's a beautiful, like gorgeous white floral beachy fragrance. I love it. So that is Mahora. Okay, let's talk about Mon Guerlains. So I used to have the Mon Guerlain, the Eau de Toilette. I ended up passing that along to somebody just because I have other formulations I like better. This is my favorite formulation of Mon Guerlain that's not Mon Exclusif. This is, but I need to stop saying that until I smell the Intense. I have a feeling I'm going to absolutely love the Intense. But this is Mon Guerlain Florale, and this is like a sweeter, yeah, it's like a sweeter version of Mon Guerlain. It smells like Mon Guerlain, but it's just a little bit sweeter. I really love it. It lasts forever too. Performance on this thing is so good. I can easily get a whole day out of this. Next is one of my, well, yeah, this is one of my favorite Guerlains in my collection. It's definitely my favorite version of Mon Guerlain, but I don't know that this is, I don't know. I go back and forth. Is this a version of Mon Guerlain? Is it its own thing? It smells like a lot like Mon Guerlain. Yeah, it smells just like Mon Guerlain, but this has got like, this is like a way heavier, sweeter version of it. This has got a butter note in it that makes it very decadent and rich smelling. I think it's got a little bit of a salt note in it. And it's just, like I said, decadent, rich, very creamy version of Guerlain, very sweet. This one is really hard to come by anymore, and yeah, it is quite expensive when you do come by it. I would say if you're like a hardcore Mon Guerlain lover, that this is like almost a must-have, but if you're not, I wouldn't worry about it because I'm thinking that maybe the Intense smells somewhat like this. I don't know. I really need to get my nose on the Intense. I just have a feeling it's going to remind me of Exclusive. But yeah, I love this. It's such a stunning fragrance, and I'm sparing with this because I don't ever want to be without it. So anyways, that is Mon Exclusif. Okay, these next ones are ones that were sent over to me, and I adore these. The first one is the original Mon Guerlain. This is the Eau de Parfum, and this is so good. This reminds me, it really reminds me of a lighter version of the Mon Exclusif, and kind of decadent smelling like the Mon Exclusif. It just doesn't have that really decadent butter note in it, and I don't think it's got any kind of a salt in it the way that the Mon Exclusif does. But it's still beautiful. This reminds me more of the Mon Florale, or sorry, this reminds me more of the Florale as far as the sweetness goes. It's just beautiful. I love Mon Guerlain fragrances too. They last absolutely forever on me. So yeah, this is a stunner of a fragrance. So that is the Eau de Parfum. Okay, and then the last Mon Guerlain that I have is Mon Guerlain Bloom of Rose. And yeah, this is another one. She sent this over as well. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. This is more like, this could be worn any time of year easily, but it's more of like a warm weather appropriate. It reminds me of spring. It's just beautiful, fresh rose. It doesn't smell like Mon Guerlain to me at all. It definitely smells like it could have been its own fragrance. Like, it doesn't really smell like it belongs in the Mon Guerlain line. Just because, to me, I can't make an association of this with Mon Guerlain. But in its own right, it's a beautiful, fresh springtime rose fragrance. I really love it. So anyways, that is Mon Guerlain Bloom of Rose. And that one I have not given a full wear test yet to, so I don't know how that one performs. Yeah, but I will at some point. I've got my Insolence fragrances that I have. So I used to have the Insolence Eau de Toilette in this same bottle. It just had a pink lid instead of purple. They smelled almost exactly the same to me though, the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum. So I just hung on to the Eau de Parfum and passed on the Eau de Toilette. This is my favorite formulation in this bottle. I don't know, I actually haven't smelled the newest formulation in the B bottle, but I just love this one in this bottle. This is such a decadent, rich violet fragrance. It is my most favorite violet fragrance I've ever smelled so far. I just love it. It smells like violet candies to me. It smells like an old-fashioned tin of candied violets. It's so good. It's very, very sweet though. This is definitely best in cold weather. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's like candied violets. It smells very, very much like meteorites, like the little powder ball meteorites, and I adore it. So that is Insolence Eau de Parfum. And then I also have, this is Insolence Eau Glacée. So this is like a much lighter, brighter, it's a much more delicate formulation than the Eau de Parfum. It's stunning. This has got, oh, it's so good. This has got some citruses in the top. It's just really, really light and airy. And this is great for hot weather. So it's like a beautiful citrusy hot weather violet fragrance. It's not nearly as decadent and candied smelling as the Eau de Parfum. I just love this. I'm not going to lie. I bought this only because it had been discontinued and I just wanted it. I came across it on Mercari and I was like, I'm snapping that up because it's been discontinued. I don't even care what it smells like. And I love these bottles. But yeah, I do love this fragrance as well. So that is Insolence Eau Glacée. Okay, now we are on to Shalimars. I'm going to start with the most original version of Shalimar that I own. That is this Shalimar here. This is Shalimar Eau de Toilette. I love this bottle. I love the blue cap. I love the fact that you spray the actual, it's not a cap, it's just the sprayer. I love that you spray the actual top to it. And I just love this bottle. I think it's beautiful and very historic looking. I just love it. I love this fragrance. I love wearing this in the winter time. This is such a beautiful, cozy fragrance for me. This is the only version of the original Shalimar that I can wear is the Eau de Toilette. The Eau de Parfum is just like, it's too much for me. It ends up smelling like burnt rubber for some reason on my skin. This one though, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Citruses in the top. And it dries down to the most gorgeous, like deep, kind of smoky vanilla. Oh my gosh, do I love this. And for whatever reason, this Eau de Toilette version smells so good on my skin. This makes me feel like so, I don't even know. It just makes me feel like I'm wearing a piece of history when I wear this because it's just been around for so long. But yeah, I love this. It's like citrusy vanilla. And this, the Eau de Toilette formulation doesn't have that like kind of really pungent, burnt aspect to it the way that the original formulation does. So I might get like a new bottle or a newer bottle of the original formulation and see if I can pull it off. But yeah, I adore the Eau de Toilette. So that is Shalimar Eau de Toilette. And I'm going to put that one away in the cabinet behind me because, yeah, I want to preserve that one as long as I can. Okay, let's see here. Let's start with the lightest ones and then go down to the deepest ones. So I've got this one. This is Eau de Shalimar, and oh my gosh, this is almost impossible to find. And thankfully, my beautiful friend did a swap with me. I had an extra bottle of Perfume Initiale. She had an extra bottle of this, and we just swapped. And I absolutely adore this. This is a beautiful, like iris and vanilla Shalimar. It's very light, very airy. It's got a ton of citrus in the top, but it's got this beautiful powdery iris note in the middle and a ton of sweet vanilla in the base. It is beautiful. I love this. I'm so thankful to have it in my collection, and I just wore this not too long ago. Yeah, I wore this like less than a month ago, and I am just absolutely in love with this. In fact, this is probably going to go in the cabinet behind me as well. So that is Eau de Shalimar. Next we have got Shalimar Cologne. This I adore. I wish it had something that went around the neck the way that the Eau de Shalimar does, but I absolutely adore this. Yeah, this is like creamy lemon and vanilla as well, and I'm gonna say that a lot about a lot of them because they all do have very similar notes in them, but they all smell different. Now I will tell you, this one smells very similar to the Eau de Shalimar, and this is basically Eau de Shalimar, but if you took away the iris note. So if you are somebody who loves Eau de Shalimar, or you wanted it but you can't get your hands on it anymore, I think Shalimar Cologne will kind of fill that void in your collection or in your heart, because it is very, very similar. It just doesn't have that iris note. Oh my gosh, but I love them both. I couldn't live without either of them in my collection. And this is another one I just wore like maybe a couple weeks ago. This and Eau de Shalimar are fragrances that I will just start to crave because I love them. I'm going to put this away with my Eau de Shalimar too, just because I like to store them in the dark. And this next one we're going to talk about, I also want to store in the dark. So this is Shalimar Perfume Initiale. Oh my gosh, I love this. So this is citruses, vanilla. I think this one also may have some iris in it or something slightly powdery, maybe some heliotrope, something slightly powdery. This one is a little bit sweeter. It's a little bit deeper than either the Shalimar Cologne or the Eau de Shalimar. It's definitely somewhere in between like the Eau de Toilette and the Cologne. It's just beautiful. It's Shalimar again, but it's less citruses in this one, more of something powdery, but not overly powdery. It's not like baby powder or anything like that. It's not like a powder bomb. But there is a slight powderiness in this one that is not in the others. And yeah, I want to say it's either iris or heliotrope in this one, if I remember correctly. But again, tons of vanilla in the base, some citruses in the top. It's just beautiful. I could not live without this one either. This one I am much more sparing with. I don't wear this one often because it's another one I just do not want to be without. I absolutely adore this fragrance. So anyways, that is Perfume Initiale Eau de Parfum. Okay, and then last but not least, we're going to talk about the souffles that I have. So I have got Shalimar Souffle du Lumiere. This is bright lemony vanilla, but it's got less vanilla and more lemon. Lemon, florals, and vanilla. It's really beautiful. This is definitely like a light, bright version of Souffle. It's definitely like a hot weather version of Souffle. It's gorgeous. So anyways, that is Shalimar Souffle de Lumiere. Next we have got the original Shalimar Souffle de Parfum. This is, some people compare this to smelling like a lemon cookie or something. I don't get that. I don't get gourmand from this. Yeah, I would say it kind of leans gourmand, but this is, it still smells like Shalimar to me. It's just much creamier, lighter, less resinous. It does have a lot of lemon. There's orange blossom in this one in the middle, I believe. And vanilla in the base. I love it. It's super cozy. This is a great all year round one. Though the Lumiere is great for hot weather, this one can be worn really in any kind of weather too. I just don't find this to be super heavy, but I still would recommend wearing it in the winter time or the cooler weather. But I have worn this in the summer and it's worked out just fine because it's got enough citrus and light florals in the middle to kind of keep it from getting too heavy. But I do love this, and I usually wear this one in the fall, and then I'll wear the Intense in the winter because the Intense is just that. It's a more intense version of the original. But I do love this. Yeah, I don't get gourmand from this, though, and I think I've had many people tell me that other people have described this as smelling like a lemon cookie, and I don't get lemon cookie. Yeah, it's definitely still a Shalimar flanker. And it does still have that Shalimar DNA. So if you're somebody that really hates Shalimar, I don't think you would like this one any better. And yeah, I would be nervous to say that this smells like any kind of a gourmand. But I do love it. It's beautiful. So that is Shalimar Souffle de Parfum. And then last but not least, I've got Shalimar Souffle Intense, and it is just like the original Souffle, but much more intense. This has like an almondy type note to me. I don't know if this has got heliotrope or almond in it. I don't think it's got almond, but it might have some heliotrope. But this has got a slightly powdered quality to it. It's got like an almond or like a nutty. Yeah, like an almond or nutty. It smells kind of almondy to me. Again, vanilla, a little bit resinous, a little bit spiced. Again, I'm pretty sure it's got orange blossom in the base and some citruses in the top. But it's beautiful. It's just a deeper version or more intense version of the Souffle. They smell very similar, but this one is a little bit heavier, a little bit powdery, whereas the original is, I don't get powder from it. And less citrus, more vanilla. If I had to say that one of them leaned gourmand, I would say the Intense leans much more gourmand than the original. It's beautiful though. This one I love to wear in the cold winter months. It's such a beautiful, cozy, like vanillic type fragrance. I adore it. Ugh. So that is Shalimar Souffle Intense. Woo! And that is going to be it, guys. Those are all of the Guerlain fragrances that I own in my collection. I do have another one. I just can't find it right now. It's a 15 ml spray pen that I just picked up of L'Homme Idylle. I think L'Homme Idylle Eau de Parfum. It's kind of like a tobacco cherry fragrance. I looked everywhere for it. I cannot find it for the life of me. But yeah, I do have that as well. I don't think I left anything else out. There's a possibility I could have, but yeah, I definitely plan on collecting Guerlain fragrances for the rest of my life. I love them. Like I said, they're my favorite house. I think because there's just something about the DNA of Guerlain that I adore. I love the history of the house as well, being such a history person. And yeah, I just adore the house. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.